friends, it's David here from Beyond the Kingdoms with a special Foodie Friday episode. Earlier this week, I shared with you my full guide to this year's Festival of the Holidays at Epcot. If you missed it, make sure you go check it out after today's video. But in that full guide, I didn't get the chance to talk about the food because there was so much to cover. So today, I'm sharing with you my review of 12 different dishes from this year's festival. So let's get started. First up, we have a few new items for 2021 at the Donut Box. This snack stand opened up a couple of years ago right near Test Track, and it's used seasonally. For Festival of the Holidays, it's serving a collection of festive donuts like this eggnog cream-filled donut with cinnamon icing and crumbled ginger snap cookies. First of all, I love this donut mainly because of the cookies on top. I love those cinnamon and ginger flavors, which were very strong. And the crunchy texture on top is something different. I could have done with a bit more cream filling inside, but it's still a solid choice. 4 out of 5 stars from me, and it comes in at $5. Also at the Donut Box is the gingerbread milkshake, which, if you're a pass holder, comes in this cute Mickey souvenir cup. Disney likes to do these holiday milkshakes, turning traditional hot beverages into cold versions. It works really well for Florida. This one was just okay. Not enough gingerbread flavor for me, and I think that peppermint version over at Holiday Sweet Treats is a little bit better. So just 3 out of 5 stars for me on this one. Next, we're gonna cross the lagoon and head on over to France, to the Marché Noël Holiday Kitchen. Technically, this booth has a whole new menu for 2021. But upon some research, Disney has pretty much just zhuzhed up the menu from previous years. Subtle adjustments, but pretty darn good ones. Now, loyal viewers know that I am not a big seafood person. But something is clearly happening to me because I'm starting to turn a corner. And that's because I loved this smoked salmon Napoleon. In between the salmon, you get some layers of dill mousse and creme fraiche, all in a soft and pillowy brioche bun. Brioche is probably my favorite type of bread. This dish is light and fresh and a winner. 5 out of 5 stars from me, and the only downside is that it's pretty pricey for such a small item, at $8.50. But still good if you're looking to avoid some of the heavier dishes and the desserts. Alright, next we're hopping over to Canada, to the Yukon Holiday Kitchen, for even more French-inspired cuisine. This is the beef bourguignon, which debuted last year in 2020. If you're unfamiliar, this is a very traditional French beef stew, for lack of a better term. Sadly, this version was a little dry, which is a disappointment because I love this classic dish. It's served over a bed of mashed potatoes and a pretty decent size, but it could have been a whole lot better. 2 out of 5 stars from me, and a bummer really because I usually love this booth in Canada. Next, we're heading to Mele Kalikimaka, a holiday kitchen serving fresh flavors from Hawaii. I was really excited for this booth since it debuted last year and I missed it. So I tried the whole menu. And first is the Kalua pork, which was supposed to be served with a purple sweet potato mash, but I think there were some supply issues because I got standard mash instead. Pork for the holidays is very traditional for me and my family. And I was really excited for this version, which comes with some small pieces of mango. But, like the previous dish in Canada, I found the meat to be a little dry. Not quite as bad as the Canadian version, and a subtle step up, because I do love the mixture of sweet and savory flavors together. So for me, this was just 3 out of 5 stars and priced at $5.25. Maybe it was just a bad batch. And similar to France, I was really surprised that I preferred the seafood dish here, the lomi lomi salmon. On top of a bed of raw salmon, there's a drizzle of spicy mayonnaise, and I love the thinly sliced yuca chips on top. Kind of reminded me of having a fresh tuna tataki, but with salmon instead. It was another light and refreshing dish that was delicious. It's rather small and priced at $6, but a solid 4 out of 5 stars. And for dessert, we have a Hawaiian coconut pudding with candied macadamia nuts and shredded coconut. Another big surprise for me because I normally don't really like coconut flavors, but this was absolutely delicious. I think the mixture with the macadamia nuts is what really worked, and the size was excellent. Another 4 out of 5 stars and priced at $4.50. And if you're wondering where this holiday kitchen is located, this is near the front of World Showcase Lagoon, next to the small pop-up Starbucks. And a few steps down in Mexico, we have Las Posadas Holiday Kitchen. I can always rely on this Mexican booth for something good, because they usually serve up some great dishes, sometimes better than the bigger restaurants at the Pavilion. And once again, for 2021, I wasn't disappointed. This is the new tamal de barbacoa, and perhaps the best tamal I've ever had at Disney World. I've certainly enjoyed even better tamales at locations outside of the parks, but this was really solid for Disney. Underneath that corn husk is a scrumptious explosion of flavors with the shredded beef. Dip it into the salsa and the crema mexicana, and you've got a great dish. A solid 5 out of 5 stars from me, and priced at $7.50. And gluten-friendly for any of you who can't consume gluten. You usually can't go wrong for that in Mexico. Now we go from Mexico to Japan, perhaps my 2 favorite pavilions at Epcot. But sadly, things didn't go so well for me at the Shi Was Holiday Kitchen in Japan this year. First, I tried the sushi tree, which I have reviewed in the past, and this year they seem to have eliminated even more pieces of fish. I found 2 microscopic pieces of salmon and was a little disappointed. It's a beautiful presentation and would be delicious, but it's a total dud. So do yourself a favor and just skip it. Now the dessert was new for this year and a minor improvement, but again, not great. This is the Mont Blanc tart. And within that sturdy tart shell, you get some matcha mousse with a red bean center and a sprinkle of some candy on top. This was just fine, a little unforgettable, and surprisingly not as sweet as I thought it would be. Matcha is really an acquired taste. So just 2 stars from me this year. And now we arrive to the American Holiday Kitchen. If you're not the adventurous type, I say get the traditional turkey at this booth, because you can never really go wrong. But since I'm not a huge fan of turkey, and I have tried this in the past, I went for the plant-based option for 2021, the holiday pot pie. Now, I dabble in vegan food at home a little bit, and sometimes you can really find a great dish, but this was just not one of them. The flavor was incredible. It's a mixture of jackfruit, mushrooms, carrots, peas, and onions, with a puff pastry on top. The bold, earthy flavors from the mushrooms were great. But in reality, this was just a vegetable broth with a pastry lid, as opposed to some sort of pie. Just a complete failure, 1 star only, and a total skip. Thankfully, dessert saved the day a bit here. This is the pumpkin gingerbread cheesecake with cranberry whipped cream and candied pumpkin seeds. The firm yet silky smooth texture of the cheesecake was delicious. If you like traditional pumpkin pie, I think you'll enjoy this. And I do appreciate the subtle twist with cranberry cream on top, but I'm not a huge fan of pumpkin seeds. So it's solid at $4.50, and I give it 4 out of 5 stars. And then finally, we have the one new booth for 2021, the Chestnuts and Good Cheer Holiday Kitchen. This is again located back at the front of the lagoon, just a few steps away from Mexico. The menu here is simple and traditional, a collection of cinnamon glazed nuts. In reality, I now wonder why a booth like this never existed for the holidays, given it's so popular and a really safe choice. My personal favorite was the cinnamon glazed pecans, but really, no matter what type of nuts you like, there's always going to be a great option here. So overall, food at Festival of the Holidays was pretty good for 2021. I do think that out of all 4 Epcot festivals, this one always has the weakest lineup. The desserts certainly shine above the savory dishes, but I found some new solid items like that salmon Napoleon in France and the lomi lomi salmon at the Hawaiian booth. But I will say that if you're looking for a simple crowd pleaser for the holidays, especially for the little ones, try the cookie stroll. One of the best food elements to this festival. But that will get covered in another video coming soon. So with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you missed my full guide to Festival of the Holidays, definitely go back and check it out because there's a great lineup of entertainment for 2021. But like always, stay safe out there, and remember, if you can dream it, you can do it.